Please welcome Snowflake Director of Product Management, Unmesh Jagtap.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Good. So, thank you so much for inviting me here. Today, I'm very excited to talk about how we've been working with the SingleStore team on creating an integration that makes Snowflake and SingleStore work together really well. So, a little bit about Snowflake. Hope all of you have heard about us, but we are one platform that makes it super easy. The fact that we have innovated on all of the fronts from interoperable data to compute to being a full-fledged applications and AI platform makes it super easy for our customers to go realize faster time to market because all of your workloads, all of your data needs, all of your compute is being served directly from Snowflake. What it means for enterprises is that now you have much lower TCO when it compares to, let's say, creating pipelines and moving data out of your data platform, because now you can do and accomplish a lot more inside Snowflake. And the great thing is that you can do all of this within the security perimeter of Snowflake, be it full-fledged applications, be it running containerized workload, you can do directly inside Snowflake, inside the secure boundary of your Snowflake accounts. So when we think of Snowflake as a platform, it really starts with data, which is any kind of data, be it structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. On top of that, elastic compute, which allows you to really bring your workloads, be it languages, hardware, and runtimes of your choice, you can bring them close to your data. What it means is that all of your AI workloads, be it managed offerings, which is Cortex AI, or you can bring your own ML models, your AI models into Snowflake. And the outer two layers is really what makes Snowflake a secure, reliable, and a global platform, which is if you're building your data workloads, you're building your applications, you don't have to worry about managing your infrastructure. The governance is automatically baked in the Snowflake platform. At Snowflake, we really believe that there is no AI strategy without data. And the most important pillar that we see unlocking the AI strategy is really strengthening our data foundation, which is really, we'll talk about how we are a single platform for all data workloads. What it means is that it allows enterprises to accelerate AI adoption by bringing the AI workloads and use cases directly to the data. And once you start thinking about the core building blocks that you have with the data workloads, with the AI capabilities, you can build really sophisticated applications that you can build and distribute directly from Snowflake Cloud. So when we think about data, there are four major workloads that we think of. Data warehouse, which is really the core business that Snowflake was started with. Data lakehouse, which is unlocking transactional data lake capabilities and collaborative workloads. And then data lake, which allows you to store any kind of data to bring your compute into. So when we think of creating Gen AI applications, which is top of mind for everyone, and how do we unlock a new wave of applications with Gen AI, we have a strong set of building blocks that allow you to build Gen AI and ML applications. Right at the bottom, you have data and model governance, which is we've talked about Horizon Catalog if you were at Summit this year. There's a bunch of innovation that we are doing on the Cortex AI side, be it analyst or be it really unlocking AI directly from a managed set of services that we provide. There's a set of new capabilities that we've unlocked on the ML side, which is our own feature store and ML library functions. And then on top of that, really the app development platform, which is ML Studio, the fact that we have notebooks now that you can bring your arbitrary code into Snowflake, Streamlit, which is the UI layer, and really the Copilot, which allows you to talk to your data. Today, I also wanted to talk about Snowflake Native Applications Framework. So when we think of Snowflake and what's going to drive significant innovation in the Snowflake Data Cloud. It is really the fact that partners like SingleStore can build their amazing solutions and bring them close to the data. And the way we want to do that is by being the sort of Benoit says this, which is, Raj, you also mentioned this, which is what really brought all of these technologies together, the iPhone moment. This is really, we think of this as our iPhone moment, where we want to be iPhone for enterprise apps, where we're delivering secure technologies directly close to the data. And the native application framework is a mechanism to do that, which is you can build your applications using Snowflake primitives. And now with Snowpark Container Services, you are not really limited to Snowflake first primitives. You can bring arbitrary code inside Snowflake. You can distribute them, you can deploy and operate them applications close to the data. So what does it mean for application providers? The fact that you can distribute and reach to Snowflake customers directly means that you have faster access to revenue. Because when it comes to procurement, because these are secure applications, the bar for enterprise procurement obviously is very high, but the fact that these applications are coming close to your data, you don't have to worry about data governance or security issues. The fact that you can procure these applications directly with your capacity contract means that you can put these applications close to the data and work very immediately. The benefit for the application providers is that you don't have to worry about leaking your intellectual property, which means even if the application is running in your customer environment, you don't have to worry about leaking your intellectual property, which is obviously the secret sauce. And the benefit for customers is that there is one platform to put all your applications close to the data. So when it comes to your single source of data, which is Snowflake, you are now procuring these applications by directly discovering them from the marketplace and putting it to use. And especially the thing that is relevant today is that Snowflake Native Applications Framework now supports Snowpark Container Services, which is you can share data and arbitrary application logic that is written in your own languages that can fit the constraints of your own hardware requirements. You can package them together. You can publish them on the Snowflake marketplace. Customers can go discover, install these applications directly close to their data. The benefit for customers is that you don't have to worry about the security because these applications are coming close to your environment, so you have 100% control over what this application can do in your account. So the secure RBAC controls that Snowflake is known for, now you can apply it to your applications. So with that, I would love to invite Bharat on stage, who's going to talk about how this integration unfolded from the SingleStore side, and then he's also going to give us a cool demo of what we've built. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. So we're very excited with our partnership with Snowflake, and the main question that we're looking to solve is how do you bring velocity to your most critical analytics? And this is something that Raj and Madhukar touched on before. In that today's world, companies have petabytes of data historically, along with new data being generated every day, and being able to derive useful insights from your most recent data and contextualize it against your historic data in a timely manner, so that by the time you have these insights, you can actually use them, and the data isn't stale already. It's very powerful. So our solution to this, by leveraging SingleStore's real-time capabilities on top of your existing data lakes in Snowflake, we're able to drive 100x improvements in your analytics speeds. SingleStore's unique architecture allows you to process high concurrency transactions at very low latencies. SingleStore pipelines allow you to bring in data from a variety of sources in real time and query them as soon as they land. This, combined with our Iceberg integration, allowing you to directly access and perform a zero ETL ingest of your Iceberg data from a Snowflake catalog, allows you to create, allows you to get a system of, allows you to be able to process real-time information against your historical data. What we're really excited to announce, which Raj mentioned, is our SingleStore native app inside Snowflake's container services. This allows you to run a SingleStore cluster directly inside Snowpark and interact and connect it to your Snowflake table all inside the same environment. So you can now perform that same Iceberg 0 ETL ingest, but this time your data never has to leave your Snowflake environment. You can also continue leveraging the powerful SingleStore pipelines to bring in real-time data directly into your Snowflake environment, while now enabling analyzing this data as soon as it lands. With this integration, we can now enable a single interface to power various applications, including Gen AI apps, where having data as close to the edge as possible is really valuable. So again, this whole idea is that now with SingleStore and Snowflake in one place running together, you can get the best of both worlds. You have high throughput analytical queries along with the real-time analytical performance and high concurrency that SingleStore provides. We have support for multimodal with SQL as well as custom code running in Snowpark container services, at the same time with high-speed transactions. And of course, with everything in one location, you have first-class data governance and security all built in. All of this comes with an unmatched price performance at scale. So now let's look through a demo of what this would actually look like. The scenario we're going to be looking at is like a ride-sharing application. So you can think of something like Uber or Lyft. The idea is that we have a bunch of riders and drivers requesting rides, and we have this trip data coming in real time. We'll be using SingleStore. We'll be using a pipeline into SingleStore to bring in data from our simulators, which will be produced to Kafka topics. And then SingleStore will process this data and write it to an Iceberg catalog. And then historic data from Snowflake will be analyzed for various historic trends, which will then be referenced with the real-time data coming in from SingleStore. So this is just our architecture. We have a bunch of simulators, each simulating a different city in the Bay Area, riders and drivers. Everything goes to a Kafka topic. And we're using native connectors for SingleStore and Snowflake to ingest that data in real time. And then we have a dashboard that's communicating with a small API server that actually makes requests against the database. So this is an example of our dashboard. Here we have the beautiful city of San Francisco with riders and drivers. So all these dots you see on the screen represent the current active riders and drivers. And then in the top left, you can see some stats here. So the number of drivers available right now, those are drivers waiting for a ride. The number of riders who are requesting a ride and waiting to be accepted. And then there's 100 riders waiting to be picked up, and a total of 200 rides in progress. And then at the bottom left, you can see this is the current riders and drivers on the map, as well as that latest update. So this represents the ingestion lag between the current edge, so events being published from our simulator to our Kafka broker, to them being ingested into Snowflake. You can see right now it's around 30 to 40 seconds. Then if we go to the analytics page, here we can see a number of various insights. So in the top left, we have some metrics for the current day. So total trips, average distance of a trip, average duration, and the average wait time for a rider to have their trip accepted. And then below that, we have the lifetime statistics. So for the same stats, but for all of the trips that have ever happened. Then below that, we have a couple charts. So the first one, you can see the number of ride requests coming in. This is in 5-second intervals for the last half an hour. And one thing you can immediately see is that we're missing the last 15 seconds or so here. So this is a much clearer visualization of the ingestion lag that's coming in. So now let's look at how we can speed this up by adding SingleStore into the mix. The first thing you'll want to do if you're not using an iceberg table inside Snowflake is to create an iceberg table. It's very simple, just a couple lines of code. You just create a storage volume, you create your iceberg table. You can use the like operator to automatically match it to the schema of your existing table. And then you just insert in all your records from your table into your iceberg table. Next step is to install the SingleStore native app. This is available today for Snowflake customers. All you have to do, look up SingleStore in the marketplace, click the Get button. Once that's installed, you'll be greeted with something like this. You can go ahead and create a cluster. You give it a name, you can pick a size, and then create the root user password. And then click Create Cluster. This will spin up all the services under the hood required to run SingleStore inside Snowpark. Once this is done, you'll see a status of each of the nodes, and you'll get the actual endpoint that you can access the SingleStore database at inside Snowpark Container Services. Then at the bottom in the Advanced tab, there'll be a link to open the SingleStore Studio UI. Log in with your Snowflake credentials, and then log in with the root password we created earlier. Yeah. Here, we have a nice management UI to see the status of our SingleStore cluster. We can see the number of nodes and the status of each of the nodes, including the CPU and memory usage. And then we have a SQL editor where we can directly execute SQL commands. Here, we'll go through creating our trips table, and we'll also create the SingleStore pipeline. This allows us to ingest all of our trips data from the iceberg table that we created directly into the SingleStore cluster without doing any ETL and without burning any Snowflake credits. Once we do that, we can then use a similar pipeline to create we can do a similar pipeline to create Kafka, or to bring in Kafka data from the same topics that we're using previously for our Snowflake tables. Now, back into our demo, enabling the SingleStore, we are now pulling in this live data for the current trips and riders and drivers directly from that SingleStore cluster. We can immediately see that the latest update time is now just under 2 seconds compared to the 40 seconds the ones before. We can even zoom in and actually see the riders and drivers moving. So yeah, that's that latest update time. We can also go to any other city, and similarly, we can see everything moving in real time. So this is like a completely new potential that we've unlocked by leveraging SingleStore. We can even do something crazy and look at all the cities in the Bay Area here. We have 2,000 riders and drivers all moving around in real time and being updated in less than 2 seconds. Okay. Now in this analytics page, oh, one sec. Okay. Now in the analytics page, we can see that our 5-second interval graph is completely filled out. We're at the bleeding edge of data coming in, and we're able to analyze this in real time. One thing cool that we can now leverage with this real-time data is we can do sort of a crude pricing recommendation. By pulling in the current requests happening in the current minute from the SingleStore database, and then getting the average minutely requests for the past week from the Snowflake table, we're able to figure out the difference in demand for the current minute and offer a recommendation on pricing. This shows how you can really leverage SingleStore's real-time capabilities to augment your existing data on Snowflake and directly derive useful insights without needing to completely migrate over. Yeah. Thank you.